In this lesson, we're going to compare and order very large numbers and very small numbers. We want to compare the salaries of two NHL players, Alex Ovechkin and Evgeny Malkin. So Ovechkin's salary is $9,538,462 and Malkin's salary is $9,500,000. So to compare these numbers, well, look, they both make over $9 million. So that doesn't help us to compare to see who has the most. We'll look at the next place value, the hundred thousands. Both make 500,000, 9,500,000. We'll look at the next place value, the 10,000s. Here we have different numbers, so here's where we're able to compare. Ovechkin has a 3 in the 10,000s place. Malkin has a 0 in the 10,000s place. So everything else being the same before that, Ovechkin makes more money than Malkin. We want to order these three numbers from least to greatest. So we'll start by looking at the largest place value, the 10 millions. All three of these numbers have a 2 in the 10 millions place, so that doesn't give us any information about which is the largest. Next, we'll look at the millions. Again, they all have the same number, so we'll move to the next smallest place value. The hundred thousands, they all have a 4 in the hundred thousands place. They all have a 5 in the 10,000s place, and they all have a 7 in the thousands place. So we need to move to the hundreds place in order to start comparing these numbers because everything larger than the hundreds place value is the same. So let's look at the numbers in the hundreds place. We have a 9, a 9, and an 8. So I know that the smallest number here has to be the number with the 8 in the hundreds place value. So we'll make that the smallest. It's number 1. Next, we'll look at the remaining two numbers and we'll move to this next smallest place value, which is the tens. The first number has a 0 in the tens place, and the second number has a 2 in the tens place. So the next smallest number in our list would be the one with the 0 in the tens place, and then the largest number in the list would be this one. We want to compare the weights of two feathers that were found on the ground. The first feather weighs 84 hundred-thousandths grams, and the second feather weighs 86 hundred-thousandths grams. In order to compare these, we'll look at the numbers that are in the same place values and compare them. All the way up to the 10,000ths place, we have zeros. In the 10,000ths place, both numbers have 8, so that doesn't tell us anything. But in the 100,000ths place, the first feather has a 4 and the second feather has a 6. So that means that the second feather weighs more than the first feather. We want to order these decimal numbers from least to greatest. So we'll start looking at the place values that are right before the decimal and then we'll compare them from that. So in the ones place before the decimal, all these numbers have zeros. So now we'll move into the tenths place. There's all zeros in the tenths place, all zeros in the hundredths place. Now we'll look at the thousandths place. There's all sevens in the thousandths place. Now we'll move on to the 10,000ths place. There's a 6, a 5, and a 4. These numbers are all different, so this will help us to compare them. So the smallest number in this list is 745 hundred-thousandths. The second smallest number in this list is 754 hundred-thousandths. And the largest number in this list is 761 hundred-thousandths.